الرحيم الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد طب القلوب ودوائها ونور الأبصار وضيائها وعافية الأبدان وشفائها صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكرك الغافلون. Today's subject relates to what people term as being modern issues. In reality, those things which are termed as being modern issues are regurgitated old arguments, ancient arguments, repackaged in modern ideology and modern jargon. Because all the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam, the previous prophets alayhi salam, tackled and defeated all the old and ancient grievances that crept in amongst humanity. From the time of Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam to the time of Sayyidina Ibrahim, Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam, and all the various prophets alayhi salam up to the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, all the various ideologies, man-made ideologies that were countered by the Anbiya alayhi salam, who were recipients of al-Wahi, divine revelation, are mentioned in Al-Quran al-Kareem, to the point that some of the ulama, like the author of a book on At-Tashabbuh, resemblance, one of the ulama of Gaza, the title Al-Ghazi, classical alim, there's a book on Tashabbuh, resemblance, a book voluminous, 12 volumes, where he mentions resemblance, the good types of resemblance, like human beings when we resemble angels, how angels write and read, human beings write and read. Animals do not read and write, but human beings, they have angelic characteristics. So we resemble creatures like angels, but we can also have the ability to resemble despicable types of human beings called the makhluk, which is the creation, which is disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The current wave of ideological misguidance that we observe today may have its roots in many things, and that is one of the subjects which we will be tackling in the spider's web. This lecture in Accrington toward the end of the month, the spider's web. What is the spider's web that has been woven across the world? And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah Al-Ankabut, that the spider's web is flimsy. Structurally, the web may look beautiful, and the web can function because the web catches flies for the spider to consume, but nevertheless the structure is flimsy. The ideological structure that envelops the world today is what? A flimsy structure. And the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the guidance, the blue map, the printer, the guide to how to finish the spider's web. But the ideological warfare that we face today may take its form in what is known as humanism, humanistic philosophy, which I define as the worship of humankind, a form of nihilism, self-destruction. Similarly, feminism, the worship of the feminine species. Similarly, various ideologies that trickle down to the masses. Not everyone may know technical terms related to those philosophies, but they may espouse and express those philosophies in layman's terms, like the worship of material, having its roots in materialism, which is what believing only in material, tangible existence, not believing in the metaphysical, spiritual realm. Someone may say, I only believe in what I see. They do not realize this belief is embedded in materialism, the belief that the only thing that exists is the material realm. Nothing exists beyond the material realm. Such a person will reject the spirit, the ruh. So if you ask them, do you believe in the ruh? They will say no. Do you believe you have a soul? They will say no. Even if you ask them, do you have an intellect? They will say no, it's only a chemical reaction that occurs in my mind. This has its roots in materialism. Likewise, neoliberalism, the belief that what is deemed as right and wrong is determined by society. In actual fact, is the worship of the nafs. What is this dictating? It is dictating that if the overwhelming majority of people deem something as good, then that thing is good. So this would mean, a democratic way of thinking would mean that the majority of people are nihilistic in nature, self-destructive. So when the majority of people decide that something is good, it means it protects the majority at the cost of the minority. And this is what is termed as being democracy today. That when the majority deems something as being good, then it will protect what the interests of that majority. What are the interests? The interests of the nafs, the ego. So if the majority of society deems something as being good, at the cost of the minority, you have the results that we have seen in the democratic world from the time of the French Revolution